Here we are at Randwick. Paul Daly's kind enough to join us in the middle. It's the top-up show. It's good to be behind the camera again, Mark, after I was too comatose to turn up yesterday.
Yeah, and it was an interesting show yesterday. We had the burping punter featuring.
Burping punter, yep.
Who was that?
Me.
Oh, you were burping?
Apparently.
Nothing wrong with burping.
Dave O'Driscoll suggested I was. So.
All right, but we're here keen to get some last-minute thoughts from the Glenster because he didn't show his hand yesterday. The wind is from the west-south-west. It's a bit brisk, but it's more of a crosswind than it was 2 weeks ago. Paul, any thoughts?
Well, we've got limited data on this rail. 2 meetings in the last 3 years. Both times the inside wasn't much good, but recently we saw that 7 metre rail with the inside
protected,
being
yeah,
advantage.
the wind protection there.
So, you know, if the same type of thing plays out, then it might just happen again. But, you know,
we'll have to wait and see on that one, but
yeah,
look out for the fence to be perhaps a bit better. Race 1, not much change from the opening market. Symie is a small firmer. The favourite remains all the rage there at $1.85 more Sundays. Glenn, tell us about the first favourite.
Why is it so short?
Because it's got a huge boom on it.
But why is it odds on? I don't understand why it's odds on.
So spruiked. I couldn't get it to odds on, but I must say it
looks a very, very nice horse and looks to tick a lot of boxes.
B. Baker used to train this horse.
I just don't understand why it's so short. I don't understand why it's $1.85.
Because the trial was like...
Yeah, I saw the trial.
Yeah.
Okay. So Matt Maker's got us going straight at the lead from the trial that came from 23rd.
Well, I think they wanted to take a sit, so I would suggest it's not looking to lead.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing.
Have you got something in the race that you've got to get your eye on?
A couple of quiet trials there by Condemned interest me. I want to have a look at Aristocratic Miss,
yeah, winner on the synthetic last time.
I thought Regelay ran through the line nicely at Campbell.
Yeah, lost T. Clark, C. Brown to ride now, Reginay. T. Clark has stuck to Sangeeta, who I did find a place for. Paul, I think you're quite warm on the favourite?
Yeah, I like it. I'm pretty much close to the market price, so if that horse turns up, obviously it's coming off that heavy track win in Melbourne, which is a little concern, and a step up in distance, but pretty hollow race, so I think it's the winner.
Race 2, and we've got another shipper here, Glenn. Streets of Avalon. It's had like a fair few. I think it's 9th up, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
It's won its last 2 in Melbourne, and it's stepping back up from the 1400. It's been 3-1 into 9-4.
Pen job, isn't it?
Well, you say that. It seems to control here. All right, what have you got for us, Glenn?
Well, look, there's 2 riders, okay? There's Good Glenn and there's Bad Glenn. Good Glenn is the best rider in the world, and Bad Glenn says itself. So we've got a horse here, Suchet, who goes from Bad Glenn to the second best rider in the world, J Mac. I'm all over Suchet. Very unhappy with the ride last start. Prime for today. I think it's top pick. Like it a lot.
Instant the Reeve is another speculator in the race. He's $13 into $9.50. Did you check him out at all?
What was the horse, man?
Instant the Reeve.
Yeah, had a little look at it. A little bit of interest there. I want to, again, a lot of races here today, Mark. Manning Yard Mail for my subscribers today, because there's a lot of horses first up, had spells, had one run, coming off the bias track. A lot of numbers I've got in my head going forward could be completely different after MYM.
Yeah, and it could be interesting with that feed you mentioned from 2 weeks ago, where it did seem to favour horses that had that good cover on the inside there.
Yeah, it's like Le Romain was probably a dickie last start, and do you want to be on it today?
Well, interesting question. We'll get to that race. The Highway has lost a number of key contenders. Safe Landing is now the best backed, into $5.50. Sprinkle around for, well, perhaps the other one that should be mentioned is Rapture Miss, which is 25s into 10s. Last start, I think Maria, yeah.
Down the outside, charged through the line, soft on the line. Not surprised they took the 25s. I think at 10 to 1's about its mark now.
T-Berry rides.
Anything there for you, Paul?
No, I haven't done the race.
Paul's Highway free today. The Betfair function has ruled out the highway approach. But Glenn, what have you got your eye on here?
Well, I want to have a good look at the 6 Trista 8. I haven't seen it before, and I was interested in the bottom one, Rapture Miss.
Right.
Not Boss's horse, I thought overachieved last up. It goes from J Mac to Kathy. How can you back it?
How can you back it? The staying race. I'll say staying race. It's 2,000 metres. All Too Soon remains firm at 2-1. A little bit of money for Brigham Rocks and Reneged. Paul, you playing this one?
I probably won't play in the race. I've got the favourite about the market price. Looks hard to beat, but it's coming out of that fast run race, as you say, Mark, and into a slow run race. So Yeah, that's a bit of a concern, but I wouldn't want to back anything else.
Because Glenn, this tests the pearl. One of my pearls is come out of a fast run mile up in distance to a slowly run 2,000 metres. It's against you, but obviously the favourite does bring a big head of steam.
It does, but gee, 2 to 1 seems kinder to me, guys. It was $11 and well suited the other day.
Yeah.
Boomtown wrap for me there, guys. Only $26. Be in the finish.
Very good. The feature now, the Concord. Now I must mention, you've got Radley over there just spruiking on about the prize money increases. So we've got Red Zell here, and he's racing for. He's racing for
90,000 to win, huh?
Yeah, but like 15,000 more than the other the shit races are racing. You know, like race 2 is worth $15,000 less once you've got the Bob's bonus included.
Yes, I understand.
So it's really a bit of a travesty, isn't it?
It is a bit of a travesty, and it makes you think that, you know, trainers can focus on these races and not have their horses 100% ready. You don't know for sure this horse is 100% ready because, you know, they're looking at $8 million races in a couple of starts.
That's right. This one doesn't matter.
It absolutely doesn't matter.
Yeah. The initial push was for Invincible Star. Since then, there's been a push back in favour of Red Zell. Have you got a preference, Glenn?
MYM for starters. But if Invincible Star leads Rizal, I want to be on Invincible Star. But I'm a bit concerned they can blow each other up there. I can't tell you who else is going to win, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Kaepernick getting to a place late off the soft trial.
One run at 1,000. I mean, it's interesting that some of these horses haven't been at 1,000 for a very long time.
You got anything there, Paul?
Look, I'm narrowly with Invincible Star over Red Zell, and I'm saying that Memes is probably better than 40 to 1, but yeah, it could sneak a place.
6 goes the distance for 4 wins, all that form at this track.
Yeah, but one race in town at 1,000.
Okay.
The other 3 wins are all provincial.
3 sentences back ago we were saying they're not 1,000-metre horses, and I threw it in there. This horse 6 starts, 4 wins, and 1,000.
Okay.
Sort of a place bet.
Yeah,
I think one of the 2 favourites is going to win. I don't know which one, and I don't think the setup's good for either of them.
Perhaps not. They're both presuming off 1,200-metre runs. The Tramway, and of course Pirata's gone lame, so we've lost him. Le Romain is now 13 to 8, and the next best backed is probably Tom Melbourne. A little bit of money for Arbitza.
Again, another MYM for me. Tom Melbourne first up. We've got all these horses first up. Dixie Blossoms want to have a good look at because it's a horse, I think.
It's a bit of a race, isn't it?
It's a bit of a race. Egg Tart I want to have a good look at, and obviously you've got to start off with Le Romain as top pick. But to me, 5 to 2, 11 to 4 range for me.
Yeah, 7 to 4 off the PR seems a bit tight. What do you
7
say, Paul?
4
Yeah, look, I think it's obviously the go-to horse, but you couldn't back it after knowing what it did the other day and how much favourite it was. But Tom Melbourne for me,
do you expect them to try and lead today, given what they did in the trial, or not?
I think it'll be handy. I think I got it settling 4th.
All right, so there's no thought to trying something different.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
The Chelmsford and Unforgotten is now touching 5 to 2, just a shade better than 5 to 2. 13 to 4 yesterday overnight. Some money for Cabeza de Vaca and its stablemate Sedanza. It's another mounting yard mail race again, really, Glenn.
Well, the whole day is MYM for me. I've got like so many different thoughts in my head. The last horse I want to be on is Unforgotten, and I'm not interested at all.
Gord was particularly impressed with the way it ran through the line, and I think some other good judges were impressed with the way it ran on after the post.
Yep.
Okay.
But look, I was preferring Cabeza de Vaca. I thought he overachieved there 2 weeks ago. Obviously, we've got the Winks lead up looks solid, albeit we're dealing with horses that started 50s in the race.
Yes.
Are you playing? You're a late comer to this race, Paul. Is there an edge
I think
for
I
you?
will be. I'm probably going to spec single goes. I know it's Kathy, and
It's Kathy.
I know, but there's horses that go to Waller first sign. Change tables is just an extremely potent betting edge, and I know it's Kathy.
Kathy has actually got good stats for Waller, hasn't she?
Well, she's got good stats on single gaze. It's a horse she's always ridden well.
Blinkers go back on, and look, I'm going to back it. Unforgotten's obviously a good chance. Too short for me. Cabeza de Vaca's a hope, and what's this Mr. Moonlight Magic?
Well, as Glenn says, mounting yard mail. We've got Mr. Moonlight Magic. We've got this 1 Foot in Heaven returning off after Waller had it for 2 runs, and it's got the blinkers on, and the Satano Raisin sort of fits into the same category. So There's a bit of spice in this race. I don't know if we're very clear about it. The penultimate, and Miss Fabulous is on the blow after opening as short as 5-2. Hood is 13-2 into 15-4, and Pretty in Pink is 10s into 7s.
Geez, we've got a maiden second favourite here, guys, and Miss Fabulous. It's a touted boom horse that doesn't look to have any form.
Couldn't have done any more than what it did the other day.
Yeah, but like, is a 3-horse race a good setup for a second up?
Well, I think what the rationale about this race is that Poo, the Silver Shadow, there's Merrill facing the breeze, getting about 3 lengths. There's a 200-1 chance.
So therefore, Pure Relation wins the race.
The Bleeder, yeah, first up. And I think Paul, you suggested that bleeders are, trainers are quite focused on bleeders first up.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm going to back one, I will only back them first up or second up, but that's just a little rule I've developed over the years. But for me, I think a Hood's going to be very hard to beat.
All right, so that's with Australia's best maiden from Paul. And the last race, Paul got on the show yesterday and he was very bullish about Surplus. It's now 7-1 into 4-1. Another dollar is 9-1 into 9-2. So best of days remains firm enough at the head there. Glenn, did you have a pick?
I thought 2 winning numbers, guys. Best of days and Sambro, and no other hopes.
It was, yeah, okay. It was easy enough to come up with that analysis. So I think, Paul, you're saying that Surplus...
I'm sticking with Surplus.
Yeah, up to the 1400, yeah. But his form is sort of... It's yesterday's form.
Oh, it's a lifetime ago.
Yeah,
it's a lifetime ago.
But we will see, and that's what.
But I mean, that's what get a lead from you, Glenn.
Betting markets are all about, you know. Guys using old numbers and saying, well, I think this horse can reproduce an old number today.
Yeah. Tell people they get involved with this, Mark, because they must get Mounting Yard Mail of the Day if they were gold members.
Yes, indeed. So come on board. We've got lots of product, lots of content. We do 3 shows a week: Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and we've got full sets for Sydney Metro, Wednesdays and Saturdays, Mounting Yard Mail on both those days, and we've got a very good man doing a very good set on Melbourne for Saturdays. All for $22 a week. Sign up and you will not pay for a fortnight.
Yeah, so make sure you're happy, and if you're happy, we also have a really good racing community involved with us as well. We, every second month we get out for a drink, we do something and catch up and have a laugh, and that's what racing should be all about, having a bit of fun and trying to find a winner.
See ya.
See ya.